Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to another week. And so, what I wanted to do today was talk with you about something that's super important, and that is making sure that you are working with people who are qualified to be supporting you with your private practice. And the reason that this is important is because if you're not working with someone who knows what they're doing, it's going to cost you a lot of time, effort, energy, and money. So this has come up as very interesting, actually. I work as a counsellor, and in Australia, the field of counselling isn't regulated by an external agency like the government. It's what's called a self-regulated industry, which means we have, a number of different membership bodies sort of here and there that provide codes of ethics, codes of practice, make recommendations about how we should be working and things like that. And when you're in various Facebook groups, one of the things that comes up and is spoken about a lot is the requirement for qualifications, and how it's not okay for people who don't have any qualifications to be calling themselves counsellors. And yet what I find very interesting is that we also have a number of people who don't hold any qualifications in coaching calling themselves coaches. So I don't understand why we think it's okay to say, well, in an unregulated industry like counselling, you must have a qualification, otherwise it's unethical, but people will go and call themselves coaches because it's also an unregulated industry. And I just question the ethics about that. But I guess that's my own thoughts and my own opinion. But what I want to share with you is it can be very, very dangerous to your business if you're working with someone who's calling themselves a coach. And it can be dangerous to your, health or well-being or whatever you're getting coaching for if somebody hasn't been trained. It's the same as counselling. We say, oh, well, it's dangerous on the community if somebody goes and calls themselves a counsellor and they're not in any groups and they're not part of a membership body and they don't have any training, or they've only got a diploma. Isn't it also dangerous to your business if you're hiring a business coach who doesn't have any business training and who doesn't have any business experience? And the reason that this is a hot topic for me at the moment is because I've recently spoken with a couple of women who are in the position, unfortunately, of having worked with counsellors who were calling themselves coaches for business, and they didn't have any business background and they didn't even have any coaching qualifications or training. So it's landed these couple of women in some hot water that now I'm having to work with them to undo, which is fine. But it's just sad because these women have no, recourse, and it's really had a devastating effect on both of their businesses. So if you're looking for a coach, I would encourage you to do your due diligence and ask your coach if she has any qualifications, what are they, and how long has she been doing this? Does she have any endorsements, recommendations, testimonials? Look on the webpage and check her out. Make sure she knows her stuff before you go investing thousands of money with somebody who might not know what they're doing. Just because somebody is a counsellor doesn't mean they're a coach. They're two different fields, kind of like how psychology and counselling are different fields. The other thing to also be aware of as well is there seems to be an increase lately in the number of people call themselves supervisors that also don't have any qualifications in supervision. And they're doing things like calling it informal supervision. And I think to myself, what on earth is informal supervision? Like, it's either supervision or it's not. If you're calling yourself a supervisor but you haven't trained in supervision, and you don't have any experience in supervision, how can you accept money from someone and call it informal supervision? Like, I just think that I have questions around the ethics with that as well. So again, I don't want you to get caught up in some of the stuff that's happening in our industry at the moment. If you need a supervisor, my advice would be ask your supervisor, are you qualified and trained, and what experience have you got before you hand over any money? Because again, how can somebody provide you with supervision if they don't know how to supervise? And supervising groups is different to supervising individuals. There's documentation that needs to be done. There's compliance things that need to be checked off. So just be very, very careful around that. There is, peer supervision. That's fine. I'm not talking about peer supervision. I'm talking about people taking money for supervision who don't have any qualifications or experience in doing that. Be sure that whoever you're working with knows their stuff. Otherwise, you'll only have yourself to blame, and it can have a really big impact not only on your private practice, but on how you show up as a woman in practice for your beautiful business, and how you're helping the very people that you want to be helping and showing up for. So don't be afraid of asking people, for their background. I just think it's better that you're aware so that you can make an informed decision. And before you hand over any money to a coach or a counsellor, do read the contract, do check the consent form. Your supervisor should be giving you some kind of agreement if it's group, contract if it's individual, and that should outline all of the requirements, including their qualifications, giving you an opportunity to list your qualifications so that everything's nice and transparent before you get started. So if you have any questions about, how to find a supervisor or how to find a coach, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to point you in the right direction, can give you some questions to ask to support yourself in connecting with the help that you need. I hope this was helpful and valuable for you. I'm sharing this information with the highest intention from a heart space of wanting to serve you by being transparent and sharing with you information that's going to support you in taking your practice in the direction that you want it to go. So I hope this is really, really helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.